Good morning. On behalf of Eileen's family, I would like to welcome all of you to the celebration of life. I'm Kathy Talamantes. I'm the school head at Sunset Hills Montessori School, but much more importantly, I am so blessed to consider Eileen one of my very dearest friends. Oh, today is so difficult, and we are saying goodbye. But how fitting to be gathered in Eileen's beautiful school on this lovely fall day, and how blessed we all feel here, that we were loved by Eileen, and that we loved her in return. Sharon Perry is one of Eileen's little sisters, and she's going to share with us some precious memories of Eileen.
I'm a big push so you can see it. I'd like to also, besides all of you who are here, all lived 21 Zoom, I would also like to do a shout out to our son Paul, who tested positive for COVID on Thursday morning. He's on Zoom. He is so upset that he can't be here. Anthony had a significant impact on his life. How am I supposed to summarize how I feel about my sister in 10 minutes? So Eileen was born and came out as a force of nature. When Charlie was born, Brian. When Charlie was born, I understand that she did all of his talking. He probably didn't speak until he was 10 years old. Eileen took on quite a bit of family responsibilities at a young age. When Eileen was 9 years old and 10.5 years old, there were family tragedies. The two ladies born after me died within 3 days and 1 day. Eileen clearly remembered our dad coming home after the first one was born, having to tell her and Charlie and our Nana that the baby had died. It happened again 18 months later. When Mom went to the hospital to have Teresa, Eileen was standing by at JCPenney in the event that this baby lived. Of course, Mom had Teresa. At 14 years old, Eileen shopped for all of the needed supplies and baby clothes. Charlie, who was 12 at the time, was with her. When Eileen was 16, we had 5 children at home. Mom was still having emotional difficulty from having lost 2 babies. As an adult, I learned that I learned from Eileen that she would get Teresa and Andy up, feed them, dress them, before she went to hospital. She also learned from school lessons. Eileen always said that she was the oldest of 7, or as I typically said, I'm the middle of 5. We have a very large family. Eileen has 10 nieces and nephews. They're all here. Who she adored and they loved. Sadly, Charlie's son, Miles, died suddenly just 1 year ago at 37 years old. He is greatly missed. Eileen was also the matriarch of 30 cousins, good Catholic families, some of which were able to travel to be here with us today. When our family gets together, us siblings laugh and howl, needling each other incessantly, yet playfully. Sort of like, well, I did this, blah, blah. Or, yeah, well, you did that. Or, at least I didn't do blah, blah. Back and forth, and back and forth. She was irked that she did not get to do the things that Teresa and Annie were allowed to do. But she was older by 14 and 16 years. She was funky, however. When our baby sister died, it was the first one, and I just had this morning. Some of the nuns were saying, "Oh, God, we need another angel," and I really had enough of it. And she said, "Doesn't God have a host of angels? Why does He need my baby sister?" The nuns were in the closet for being. Now, when she was 15, she was grounded and wasn't allowed to see her boyfriend. She took me to the movies. Actually, Eileen was making out with Eddie Clark, who I bet you don't even know this. I actually contacted him, and he's on the right now. So when Dad came to pick us up, he came inside the lot, didn't wait outside. She and Eddie Clark holding hands. Busted. Eileen was an avid reader. She spoke of loving the Dorothy Library as a child. It was founded in 1743 and remains one of the oldest libraries in the United States. Sorry. Calm now. We had spoken of the Sharon Hill Library, which is the next town we lived in, and how we could still smell it and feel the warm, wind, narrow steps. She loved the sense of her room as punishment, because then she could read. Eileen went through 12 years of Catholic school before going on to Catholic college. Dad told me that Annie, being a toddler, thought that Eileen lived in the neighborhood. So that was when you could go all the way to 8 and not have to take off your shoes. Hey, Annie saw her go up the steps on the plane. You saw her come down the steps on the plane. Eileen loved school her whole life. Archbishop Prendergast High School for Girls left her with fond memories. She taught me the alma mater years before I went to Prendy. She said, I was 7 years younger. I was probably the only freshman who could sing the alma mater on the first day of school. She excelled on the debating team. Go figure. Talking, persuading, convincing. Uncle Fred would say, Eileen taught the starving dog off the meat market. She really wanted to take art at Prendy. Unfortunately, our parents didn't find much value in having her take art. Well, as you all know, she made her way with her creativity and crafts. She was also quite the seamstress. In 1976, she was working at a fabric store here in Reston. She arranged for me to take sewing lessons from an amazing teacher in the store. She wanted me to learn the proper way to sew. Quite the activist, Eileen took after our dad, who was involved in politics, even running for Pennsylvania state legislature. He lost to a deep-seated incumbent. As a teen, Eileen joined Students for Democratic Society, SDS, which was a national student activist organization in the United States during the mid to late 60s. I can see her in her outfit at a For Bobby Kennedy campaign stop in Springfield, Pennsylvania. The white styrofoam, wears hat, with a band, Bobby Kennedy pins, and a sash. Like everyone else, she was devastated when Bobby Kennedy died. He was assassinated. Big difference. She had been active in the past several years with, I don't remember the name of the organization in Reston.
Interested in individuals.
What was that again?
Very interested in individuals.
Her interested in indivisibles. And I have a line there to fill in. She would go with them and demonstrate at the White House, and they would all hold up different letters. And so she would always tell us which letter she was, like we couldn't figure it out. I was really in the beginning of this school. First to the payroll, then as a parent, then doubled as her business partner for 5 years. And always a sounding board and counselor. She worked around the clock and often didn't take a salary. Months after I went to work for her, her dad laughingly told me that he was so happy that I had gone to work for her because he knew I would make her take a vacation. In 1968, Eileen put something on her Christmas wish list. She asked for a particular album by Phil Oakes, O-C-H-S, an anti-Vietnam War folk singer. That album, Phil Oakes, was an abbreviation in Philadelphia Orchestra and went all over town looking for the album. I don't know if she ever got it. Eileen was always ready to go back to family members. I had some serious emotional problems in the early 80s. She welcomed me into their home. Martin and Sarah were young, and her family was in the middle of moving. She faced some difficult situations with me and helped me, as if her plate wasn't already full. Eileen had major respect and acceptance of all cultures and faiths. Just look at the student body and staff over 30 years. She recognized our parents as prayer warriors and would call them to ask prayers for family, friends, students, parents, and staff. Poor Eileen had to share a bedroom with her little sister. If you need a friend, I stand right behind, like a bridge over troubled water. I will ease your mind. A few days after she died, I felt her. I told her to find other souls that had gone before her. She was down with Mom and Dad, and to send her baby sisters, Mary and Marie. In closing, if for any reason the gates were closed when Eileen got to heaven, you know that she called her way.
Thank you so much, Sharon. So if Eileen were introducing her husband, Joe, the first thing she would say, and I know she said it to everyone in this room, is, he was the love of my life. But she would also say that it was his love and his support that allowed her to follow her dream of building this beautiful school. Following in the philosophy of Dr. Montessori, Eileen so passionately felt that every child in the world deserved the start that she and Eileen provided them. So this is a space where my children have thrived and so many other children have thrived. So I know that Eileen said that is things to do. Joe has a few words that he wants to share with all of us.
That would be a good I need help and I would call. Thanks to all of you. Thanks to all of you for taking the time to remember and celebrate Eileen Marie. Many of you probably know how you and Eileen came to be in this place at this time. Some of you may not. Allow me to take this occasion to tell us. Eileen believed in Montessori education when she was in high school. When we moved to the Washington area permanently, we chose Reston because it had a quality Montessori school, and we could live here in our. My daughter Mara rode to school with classmates in carpool rides that Eileen ordered for babysitting. Though on occasion I took Mara in a child carrier backpack or less. When that school faltered, we moved with a teacher we loved to the Green Village School in Vienna. After several happy years there, my daughter Sarah's teacher would become a dear family friend, virtually blackmailed by them. The teacher at the very last minute needed a classroom assistant and told Eileen that unless she accepted that position, the teacher would be removed. Eileen protested that I am not a teacher. Our friend immediately responded that, no, you are an instinctive teacher. You just don't know it yet. Thank you and have a wonderful day. Eileen accepted only reluctantly, but within the first month, she realized that she had found her calling and was searching for a Montessori training program that she could complete between school years and within our family budget. Living at my sister Betty's house with my mother and with Mara and Sarah along, Eileen completed her coursework the following summer. Eileen excelled at Green Village and was recognized for that. Despite some eccentricities, like the time she joined her school in a physical demonstration of the word slither. All would have been well for years to come, except one day Eileen passed class to his headmistress, whom Eileen considered a role model and a mentor. For those taking names, please know that this was more than 40 years ago, and the headmistress has long since passed on. Eileen mentioned that she had concerns about students' possible learning issues, and that she would recommend that the parents seek outside testing and possible remedial work that the school could not provide. The headmistress immediately said, no, never tell a parent that this school cannot meet everything the child needs. By no means raise this concern with them. Eileen was terrific. What do I do with my mentor, who is also my employer, tells me to do something that is contrary to the interests of the child? To the surprise, I'm sure, of no one listening now, Eileen walked away quietly, took a few deep breaths, and spoke to the parents about their concerns, her concerns. Again, all would have been well, except that by chance the headmistress later acted upon the parents who in answer to the how are things question, responded that things were going very well. That after Eileen had steered them towards some outside help, their child was doing much better, and they were happy. So the following mid-August, after all the area schools had hired their faculty for the coming academic year, Eileen was fired. Or perhaps I should be more precise. The school undertook a reorganization, and Eileen's position was the one that was determined to be redundant, while, if memory serves, the school hired other teachers. Eileen was crushed. She always suffered from a working fear that she was somehow inferior, and this hit her weak spot. The fact that we had just bought her house, very much including Eileen's income in the family budget, did not help at all. I would give myself a little credit for helping to steer Eileen toward a different view, recognizing that she had excellent teaching skills and that she had done the right thing. And once that sank in, the world for the first, by no means the last time, learned an important lesson. You cross Eileen down to go get your girl. And Eileen learned and reinforced two important life lessons for a teacher and especially a school owner. The child comes first, and if you cannot provide what the child needs, acknowledge that up front and guide the parents to find them help. Do everything you can, but recognize and accept what you cannot do in the best and enduring interest of the child, even if it is to the financial disadvantage of the school. So Eileen set out to create her own school that would adhere to her principles and her direction. She registered a corporation in a name still in use in this community, not Sunset Hills, and located an available space in the then just constructed Christ the Servant Lutheran Church in the Huntington Village Center. The church pastor, accepted her offer enthusiastically. So right now you probably are thinking this is going well. You are correct. The county determined that of the quite large unemployed parking lot, where the church had a legal exclusive claim to 5 parking spaces, it needed 6. Forget about all of the other unassigned spaces. So no school. What to do? We emptied out a 22-foot by 22-foot recreation room in our home and turned it into a Montessori classroom. We bought a first-generation minivan so that Eileen could pick up and drive home 6 children with only 1 in and 1 out vehicle trip per day to our neighborhood, which satisfied the neighbors. And Eileen had 6 of the families who had already enrolled in the school if they would want to be a part of this small enterprise. They all agreed. At the end of the year, when I prepared our income tax return, I found that the school had earned $90. Even in the early 1980s, $90 was not real money. But it was a start. Eileen had her own school in one 22-foot by 22-foot. During that year, Eileen invited a family friend and Montessori teacher to join her as an equal partner, no charge. And at the end of that year, the Reston Roundhouse building, where our Mara had begun her Montessori education a decade before, became available for rent. Eileen's new school took root, was successful, and even expanded. But then the partnership broke down. In what was supposed to be an equal partnership, checks were written without Eileen's knowledge to benefit only one classroom. When they did the partnership, it became hostile. In the course of the dispute, Eileen heard multiple insults that were untrue, that were intended to be hurtful and to break her down. We were instantly fortunate to have Lee Basha, a school parent and attorney, who saw that Eileen needed support and provided it. Before the partnership dissolved, Eileen was able to recover the teaching materials, mostly handmade, that she had put into the school. But once again, there was emotional trauma as she had to sell the school she had created. But once again, after the tears came the determination to put her skills and her principles to work. And once again, the world saw that we crossed Eileen dust and her debt is terrible. Eileen went to multiple bankers to ask about borrowing to finance Montessori and other school materials so she could start over. No one was interested. But one banker suggested an alternative. Oh, but if you want to borrow to buy a building, that we can do. Buy a building. I confess that I was more than a little apprehensive. But Eileen would not be deterred. And by chance, there was a small, one-story, some might say decrepit, vacant office building, less than a stone's throw from Eileen's old school. We mortgaged everything, and when that wasn't enough, I went to my mother. She wrote a check. You will see her remember one of those royal benches outside of our board school. Thank you, Melanie Miller. We made a deal, and the renovation contractor started work, though not quite fast enough. About 1 week before the parents expected to send their children, the contractor's line was, we'll only be about 2 weeks late. Isn't that great? Again, Bosch came to the rescue, pointing to a clause in the contract she had negotiated. Gee, I would have thought you would want to be paid for all of that yet unbilled work we did. The contractor went into overdrive, and Sunset Hills Montessori School was born. The start was financially difficult. We were for a while about one tuition short of breaking even. Someone who may have been Sharon suggested consolidating the school offices from 3 small rooms into 2, and taking the largest of those 3 rooms and making it into a small additional classroom. Tight quarters, but problem solved. The school succeeded and expanded into additional remote space. But even then, it was bursting at the seams because people knew a loving, skilled educator when they saw one. Eileen set her sights higher. United Christian Parish Church on Ridge Heights Road went on the market. Eileen jumped, but too late. Another church had already made an offer. Months later, a school parent and realtor, Ron Rudison, called. Have you considered the United Christian Parish Church in Ridge Heights Road? I did, but isn't it already sold? No, the deal fell through. The purchasing church was a victim of financial fraud and all its money was gone. So we mortgaged everything all over again. Bought the church, and then fought through zoning and permitting processes from hell. Fairfax County zoning denied that a school was a community use, which is the sole permitted use for this property. Eileen spent hours, days, I think it was weeks, squinting at microfilm in the county office. Then she found in the plat of a remote and unrelated lot in Reston, the long misplaced and forgotten zoning definitions legend written for all of Reston, which said that a school is a community use. The real estate attorney who urged Eileen to do research, because his billing for all of that time would have bankrupted us, was amazed and spent months deflecting praise from his fellow zoning attorneys who thought that he had forced it down the back. And then in local permitting hearings, there were a few neighbors who said that they would rather have a derelict church than an active school near their homes. Some even argued that the word Montessori was the business equivalent of McDonald's, and that Eileen and I were closet millionaires with a chain of schools all over the country. There was much more, but Eileen stuck with it and prevailed. And now I am pleased to say many of the neighbors see us as good neighbors to them. One said to Eileen that you have done everything that you promised to do. The school was an unqualified education success, but times became tough. At one point, fearing that we had bitten off more than we could chew in buying this wonderful building, we even agreed to meet with one of the investors who periodically called to express interest in buying the school. He walked into this assembly hall and said something to the effect of, "Boy, isn't this great? We could subdivide this into 8 classrooms and squeeze another 200 children." When he left, we went to Eileen's office and she said, "We can't do this. This is not what we are about." So Eileen made a tough decision. She had wanted passionately to run the school through the 8th grade, especially to give our grandchildren, Reston and Marley, a full Montessori preparation. But she swallowed hard and cut back the last 4 elementary years, even at the cost of losing 2 excellent upper elementary teachers. She expressed her regret many times in the subsequent years, even though she knew it had been essential and unavoidable. Ironically, and a bit sadly, that sacrifice was the final turning point. The school grew ever more solid to the point where we were summoned to attend a meeting at the bank, where we received an unusual and unexpected message. "We have researched the local preschool market," they said, "and it is crystal clear that you are underpricing. You could charge much more and make the school more attractive to investors. You are not maximizing the value of the enterprise." Now you have to understand, I am a trained economist. Not maximizing the value of the enterprise is much, much worse than not watching your meetings, your vegetables. But Eileen stood right up. "We don't care. That's not the point. We want to make the school affordable for as many good families as possible, so people can find in the long run." And with all of my economics education, I could not have said it nearly as well. In the end, even the bankers understood it too. Eileen knew that with the school family that she had built around her, she had put her principles into practice. She came home one day and told me that a family came in to speak with Captain Galvani's, who had been chosen as head of school when I needed to slow down. The parents said that their child had been diagnosed with learning disabilities and needed to move to a specialized and much more expensive school. "But we have a contract with you," they said, "and we cannot afford to pay both tuition. What are we going to do?" And Catherine responded, "Of course we will use this account. Of course we will not enforce it." And Catherine concluded, "You must understand, Mrs. Minarik does not run this school as business. Mrs. Minarik runs this school for the children." Catherine and I believe every member of the school staff gets the point. And with that echo of the very beginning of Eileen's career as a school owner, the building of Sunset Hills Montessori School and its community is complete. Someone who does not know Eileen or this school might hear these remarks and think that Montessori is some kind of religion. Eileen was very clear that for her, Montessori is not at all a religion. But there is a religion in this building, and that religion is service to the child. Sunset Hills has been a second home to hundreds of children of all shapes and sizes, of all colors, and of all beliefs. The one thing that they have all shared is a commitment to work and learn together with mutual love and respect. So I ask you to undertake a thought experiment. Imagine a world in which every person had attended this school. My first thought is that an evening news would be so full. The worst bad news story would be that a problem had arisen and people were working together with honesty and skill to fix it. It would be wonderful. Eileen left this school on a sound footing. This school will leave her legacy. This school will remain Eileen's school, as long as we and those who follow us maintain the spirit to keep it that way. Thank you to all of you, and my heart goes out to the school staff who meant so much to Eileen and who have lost so much, who helped to make this happen. And thank you as well to those who encouraged Eileen along the way. For all of the toughness of her exterior, and you've already heard that people have referred to her as a force of nature. Eileen was fragile and vulnerable inside. If you ever thanked her or complimented her for the work she did for your child, you helped her much more than you could ever understand. And while she was building this invaluable institution for Reston and for the world, Eileen gave me 2 wonderful daughters, who married 2 wonderful men, who in turn gave me 3 wonderful grandchildren. The world will be a better place for their presence. Eileen and I love them very much. Eileen and I communicated via seance just a couple of days ago, and she insisted that this event not be all status and tears. Her suggestion was that I try to raise your spirits by enumerating the top 10 reasons why my life will be better. And so here they are, the top 10 reasons why Joe Minner's life will be better going forward. Reason number 10. No more cracking my kneecaps when helping ignite the steering wheel of the family car. Forgetting that Eileen says the driver's seat in the foremost position. Reason number 9. Can use herbs and spices beyond the jar's Best Buy days without fear of triggering World War III. Reason number 8. No more running out to the car and restaurant parking lot to get Eileen's booster hello. Because she's found that she is sitting too low to eat comfortably. The number 7 reason why Joe Minner's life will be better. No more tripping over education and craft books. And overflowed Eileen's 2 workrooms, 4 upstairs forward. Reason number 6. Push chins in the wall to hold Eileen's jewelry pieces that have overflowed her dedicated jewelry cabinet. May now be removed. Reason number 5. My rule of wear the Band-Aid until it falls off by itself. Still here. From the vaccine shot a week and a half ago. Is now the law of the land. Reason number 4. Was tired of hearing Eileen's joke that she married me because I could add up her Yahtzee score and reach the highest shelf of the year. And that's as far as I got.
Your hard act to follow, but I will say that Eileen's family would now like to invite all of you to share a personal memory if you would like to do so. We would ask that you step to the microphone so that you can be heard clearly by all. If you are joining us by Zoom and you would like to share a memory, please enter your Zoom sign-in name in the chat box direct to the host, Sunset Hills Montessori, and we will prompt you to unmute your device when you are called upon to speak. So all of you here are gathering your thoughts. I will share one story, and let me say, it's really difficult to narrow it to one. My husband Bill and I found this school so many years ago when we were looking for a private Montessori school, and like so many families to this very day, we were just overwhelmed by her knowledge and her passion. I remember getting in the car after that, and Bill and I were thinking, like, where do we sign? Our three children were all so blessed to have Eileen as an elementary teacher. So that our family can stand here today and talk all day about the profound difference Eileen made in our lives. But instead, I'm going to tell you a story from just the other week. So Eileen, on those days, came to the foyer and greeted the children as they arrived at school. And of course, she knew all of every single child already by name, from toddlers to elementary. And so she's there greeting, and so many of the children, of course, are like the little people, were like children of pandemic. And so meeting a stranger without their parents at their side was a lot for them. And so they would kind of give her a wide berth. But of course, Eileen, as the educator she is, quickly started bringing in stuffed animals that represented literary figures. She would set it beside her chair, and all of a sudden, as children always behind me, they just started gathering. So while those of the rest of us would be doing carpool lines, suddenly Eileen would have a whole cluster of little children at her side saying, "Who's the character today? I have that book at my house." Eileen was mad. And so one day, and this was only just a week or so ago, she came into our office, which is like, we feel so blessed. We had that time with her, and she's holding this catalog in her hand, and she said, "Take this home and show it to Ben. My son is a philosophy professor," and it was one of my own students, and she said, "There is a lecture series at the Smithsonian about the philosopher Spinoza." And I think Ben really loves Spinoza. So I was like, "Are you sure? I mean, I can see all the little earmarks." And she's like, "Yeah, take it home." So of course I show it to Ben, and it's like, "I love Spinoza," which of course I didn't even know. And he signed up. Why I wanted to bring this is, look how many little tabs there are. And one of the tabs, of course, says, "Show Catherine and Ben." And one tab says, "Already signed up." And this is the thing that is just so profound about Eileen. She was a teacher to them, and all the children would come to be lifelong learners. And Eileen was truly a lifelong learner, while the rest of us are streaming Netflix. Eileen, bookmarking this Smithsonian catalog. And thinking of former students, and how she can still reach them. Socrates said that education is the kindling of a flame, of a flame, and not filling of a vessel. And that is Eileen's legacy. She has kindled flame for countless children, and at her school intended to honor that vision for years to come. I just can't help but think that wherever she is, she just has like a whole little cluster of children at her feet right now. And that is a memory from just the other week. How blessed we were to have Eileen in our lives. So if you are here and you have a memory to share, I would invite you just to stand up, come right to the podium. We would love to hear whatever you feel that you would like to share with us.
I know my name is Paul. I was one of the Minarik students. I think it was second or third grade. She decided she was going to take each and every one of us individually down to Starbucks for lunch. I was sitting in Starbucks with her, and she got me one bread, which she knew was my favorite treat. A nice lady next to us turns to us and says, "That's so nice of you to have lunch with your grandson." I was like, "Oh man, this is the principal wants to. This is not my grandmother." And that story just shows you it's like she cared about each and every one of her students so much that she could be stable with her grandmother. That's just how much love she had for every single one of her students. and I'm gonna miss her. She was leaving already.
So, I don't know, first of all, for saying Eileen, I'm sure you remember her. She was probably young again. I just remember one time she locked me out of the house and I actually had to break the window to get back to the house. But it was all in good fun. In fact, it continues to today. Eileen and I think Sharon helped our parakeet. We were a little bit of parakeet to talk. And they trained the parakeet to say, jump hit it. And that's now a password to get on the computer. But I had to grow up a little bit. And Eileen and Joe together introduced me to music and culture that I had no idea of. I really wasn't, I didn't know. Katie Brubeck, Mason Williams, I listen to them today because you guys turned me into it. But I was also a young, happy boy, followed the rules, and all of that. And my last little memory was Eileen brought home the cast album for the play Hair. My mother was not happy. And she took that thing out, she took the album out of the jacket, threw it down the basement steps, which just scratched the hell out of it, and then people put Eileen for to listen to it. And it just turned me on to a whole different world. Young Catholic boy became somebody else. So I will always remember Jack.
Hi, I'm Marley, and I'm one of her grandchildren and her youngest. And this story always stuck with me. We had this, so my family always told me to put up puzzle master because I was always great at puzzles and could finish almost, and that's the key word, almost every puzzle that I've done. And there was this one puzzle that we had in her house, and it was this puzzle, and it was a map of Paris, and it was 3 levels high, so it had like 3 layers of a puzzle, and that was that is, I think, I only have 2 puzzles that I haven't finished, because one that I haven't finished yet, and I'm working on it, and because it's currently stuck under my couch. And I haven't finished it yet, but it's extremely hard, but the other puzzle, we had it in her house, and it is the only puzzle I haven't finished because it was so hard that I had to give up. And I think that's one of the only times I've ever seen her give up on anything.
Hi, for those who don't know me, I'm Chase. I'm one of her nephews. I'm sure on Facebook posts. But back in, I think it was 2017, about me and my friend going to an convention in the National Park. And we decided to ask Eileen if we could stay with her just to maybe an hour and a half drive or 45 minutes instead. So she agreed to let us stay at her house for the weekend. Well, Saturday morning of the convention, me and my friend we were eating breakfast in the kitchen. And she comes out and she says, hey, if you guys need any extra money or like extra money for food and gas, before we say anything, she was like, oh, wait, let me just go get it. I was like, okay, well, money just got it. So, we're eating breakfast, she comes back a little while later, she's like, okay, so this is how we get at the ATM. And she hands us $200 in cash. And we tried and said, no, this is too much, it's just gas, it's just food. No, she wouldn't have it. She was so intensely generous. Not tell her no for generosity.
So, my name is Julia. I went to school
Just can't do it. A long time. So we're really from this American girls. When I was in elementary, sometimes get into her office. And I remember walking in and seeing all the Harry Potter books. And my teacher was interacting with me about it. We were talking about Harry Potter. She liked it. I remember her raising American Harry Potter. And then I remember talking about her, and she was like, introduced me to the book. And then I got one of the books, and it was the first time. Because that's what I felt she like, what happens to me.
Not 100% sure how well this is going to go. So, one Sunday afternoon, I went to interview with Eileen to be her director of Sunday Club. Well, I spent the next 3 hours at my interview learning everything about Montessori, about the love of children and children come first, which is now and from that day on, I felt like a daughter. I mean, she, the way she took care of me for the next 30 years was just crazy. And she took care of my daughter. So that was my favorite story, which is Erin was here for pre-primary to 8th grade. And just like I was at my wedding and my wedding shower, at my baby shower, she then broke and I don't remember very well, but she bought the car seat that Erin would be driving home from the hospital in. And so every single time she would be showing the family about the school. And if it came to Erin's class, she would point to Erin and say, I bought the car seat. Third the car seat on her road from the hospital. And Erin was like, okay, Eileen really, I'm gonna be who I am, where I am, doing what I do. I am also Kids Come First, and I am a foster care case manager, and thinking that was Kids Come First, but it wasn't. So I went on to the program Kids Come First, and that Eileen just followed. So thank you, Eileen, for getting me where I need to go. So I'm hearing a lot about children first and how we all feel like we're heard. So I'm thinking way back. Because before she was an educator, she was a mom of my best friends who met at Reston Montessori University. And we moved to Green Hedge together, Mrs. McHale, when we were 5. And it didn't hit me until very recently, a couple days ago, that the Minarites taught me about family choice. I'm an only child, in my best friend. And I belong to the Minarites. And then Mara belonged to Louise. And they were some set of parents for me. I can still visualize that house that was over by USGS. I still know that it was an 860 phone number. I can still recite your current name. And that's like 40-something years ago. But those experiences of being hers and Jones left me the devil mark on how I am, that I didn't realize until I was texting Mara coming And I said something about, I'll be there, don't worry about me, I'll figure out, like, where I'm meeting, and where I'm going, make sure I'm this thing. Like, I'm doing these things when we're kids. And it hit me that I use that exact language with my daughter and her friends, and the children that are in my world, the kids I coached in volleyball, to the kids I wrote on Hartfelt, and dealt with in classrooms as a parent, and she taught me that. She taught me not only what a family choice looks like and how to be a trusted adult for another child that is not your own, but also what it means to embrace the children in your world and to be their person no matter what. And I always did, up until even when my daughter was starting on choice school, I didn't even look at all these shorts and I'm like, wait a minute. And I dialed that number from them and said, hey, I have questions. And she's like, all right, what do you do? Look at one story. I said, this is, I'm in Houston and this is what she's like, okay, let me explain her. There's between A and C and I. And she went, but this, remember that you power of people. I'm going to tell you this, we don't believe what they say. And then we're very blessed to find a school that I think met her criteria and have standards. But I am very blessed to have that legacy that she has passed to me, that I have instilled and passing to my own daughter and her friends about an individual choice and what it means to have kids that are yours, but not yours. So, let's see what I got her for, she's working on, talk about the amazing women that Eileen installed us. As one of her teachers, well, she's like, I guess I am one of her teachers. She kept us open during COVID. We didn't close, we worked, they made things work for us, and you know, it was an uncertain time for all of us, and we're very blessed to have her in our lives. She walked the walk, true love story, always listened to us, told great stories, and I think it's how she came back after COVID and greeted all the children, and I too picture her with all the children around her.
My name is Richard. I'm not the guy who said that earlier. Who was the brother of my mother, and who loved her well. He said about her, he was letting had the ability to talk a smart daughter and anyway. We are a family that tease each other. We look at each other and find humor. We look at our faults. And humor in that, not the way to hurt, but the way to love. And what's something about Eileen? I do a lot of work in Washington, D.C. as a consultant. And one day, I love Washington, D.C. And I come along the White House. And of course, there from the White House is one of the pieces that Eileen demonstrated. I go, hey, friend. And she's like, hey, what are you doing? Oh, and it was wonderful. And I told myself something that my parents also about Eileen, is that Eileen had courage. She had courage to do things that she believed. She was safe. She was unabashed of what you do. She was to talk. You can get your shit and talk to it. You know, we're very generous to do. Not very often, but they, you know, really hold by the elbow. So Eileen did that. She always had something she wanted to share. It was giving first. And my father used her sometimes as a dust to us. Look at what she's done. Look at what she's chosen to do against the odds she had. Because she knew the fight that you talk about
in creating school. You were thinking she go around, and he gave her long hair, and I said, look at she brought up. She, what amazing about her is that one time I was at Houston, and a friend of mine came to new head where he was going to school. It wasn't a new school, but he took over, and he was the administrator of a children's cancer hospital. And he was he sat in his role. He wasn't an educator, but he cared about kids in pediatrics and college. So he asked me about that, and I knew this was all because I had this cousin up here at Reston, Dustin. So I called him, and we had several phone calls down on the story. So I had heard about that, and it wasn't a and so, anyway, I wouldn't go to her. And they had a long conversation. She was so generous with her time, her caring, insight, and perspective about that he said, I never knew how much I loved kids until I talked to her about education. He was about healing, care of them, and that's the time of their lives. And he got a whole new love of children that he ultimately became the extended father for about 3 to 4 years, stepping into it. It was there what I called. And I told him recently she passed away to me, and I said, please, send a love and understanding that she was talking a great deal in the small time that I had to meet with her sometime. But that's one of the things that I and our family is that stand up and do it. Speak up, don't be speak to someone who doesn't agree with you, doesn't mean you gotta give up. Don't be afraid to say, think, feel, and feel the love, believe is true, and important in the community. And then that's what we did, the shift of which I'm one of 9, and larger than that, who end up speaking for them, but I know they feel exactly the way about this woman. And so they have to use the picture of this memory, because I'm not going to say, too tall. Thank you for bringing her into our lives, and thank you all for her family. That was the shift. We love her a great deal. We, like you, are inspired, either directly, or even unconsciously, to be better people as a result.
You know how it was. You wish you had something to look up to. You had something maybe like literature, and now you reach one of those people who certainly market literature. Just by having everyone talking about the approach and attitude for the wrong way, for the philosophy, and she was an extrovert, was an introvert, 84, playing, it was novelist, police, I can't even remember it, it was really, once we have to talk to the world, everything, about her life, I was telling my husband, the first time, I brought him to school, and I was like, you will certainly know all the things. And 16 years back, when I came here, I had an interview with me, with Greg, and with the teachers. And I still tell that to my co-teacher that we just talked about BBC and the sea, everything
other than modest education. And after half an hour, she gave me the tour, which is the father. So we always carry that love of the television adaptations of literary books. We always talk about it, and of course everyone's like, you sit down and happy engineer does that. Oh, I can't believe you're not watching that. And then I got her hooked onto it. And she was like, oh my gosh, I love you for the fact that you do that. And then that really, for the next year, she was my secret Santa. And she gave me everything literature. And I knew right from that this is my idea. And I was like, thank you, teacher. My life is so much richer for having her in my life. She was true more soldier. You look at the staff, I didn't realize that she truly loved humanity. For her, if I hadn't or somebody that wasn't Jewish or Farsi or whatever, it didn't matter. She loved everybody equally. She benefited our party. All of our teachers who used to be teaching at elementary, she came to us with notes about the Bali and, articles about the Bali and pictures of the and rules. And she was so passionate. She would just come around classrooms and say, you guys have also said everybody and I was really wrong about it. And it was just so lovely, and that's why so many of us are still here, are 16, 18, 19 years, thinking about it, to go to another school. So thank you, Eileen. She's a wonderful person, and it's still hard to believe she's not here, but she will always be in our hearts. Always. Thank you.
Like many, our first walk to as parents, needed to stay 7 days ago and rain from the car and we were very jet-lagged, we were traveling 24 hours. And we had maybe 4 days to the schools in the area, all the schools. I remember being here and thought, this is it, this is home, and this is where we want our child to go. So anyway, when I started school, what did you remember in Valentine's Day? I still remember the John's Day. And a few months after I was joining school, I was off the job. And I joined school, and I was logged on in high school now to grades and my space, because that's what we do. I many memories of Eileen, but it's the little things that stick. I was in elementary school by then before I joined the school, and Eileen and I immediately bonded over children's literature and children's books. And when I started working here, I didn't even know how to think about what Eileen was teaching this. I told her, she said, oh, why don't you show me how to do this? And I remember that first lesson I had to deal with Eileen in the room. It was like I had to teach her Eileen on story right there. Pressure. But in a true Eileen style, she, even though she's Montessori, and I was not Montessori at the time, or feel like I was Montessori now, she just went with it. She loved what I did, and even after all these years of teaching, she looked at what I did and she said, this is amazing. And she followed me in what I did with as much passion and she had like a real sense of how to do things. And she just said, I want to do it the way you do it. And she did. And one of the memories that stuck is I remember reading The Day They Lost Swiss, and she was reading it. And I took my voice circle with it because there's just too many players, too many voices. And just like Eileen, I know a little bit of drama and everything, there's not going on, but I took my voice circle with it. And I remember sitting there and hearing Eileen read it, and I could still hear it. And all these years later, even though I did the village accent, Eileen's accent, but I still needed the voice to see it, and was like, this is the way to do it. And I knew the bit about each trail, each trail was having it taken off. And I still pause, exactly the same places where I used to pause. Still, the one sentence is always sticks out of one of the visuals. And now, I'm too embarrassed to leave for the box. And then how do you feel going to school? And one of the things during COVID, I was assistant teacher at the time, but thrown into being a teacher, and I always said, I was a little bit nervous about it. And I was like, what's your strength? Oh, well, I was traveling with all over the world, so I was going to take kids on a culture trip around the world. And Eileen, she went all through research. She gave me so much more than I could chew. Because you give her a task and she will go with it. But I remember the day I was going to do Belgium. She got all the research and details with you. And I remember the day when she discovered that this cookie she'd been eating for years, this soft cookie. Yes, Joe's nodding. The Biscoff cookie was actually Belgian and it's called Sticky Nose. And she is more passionate about Sticky Nose than all 11 million Belgians. I'm really worried that sales are going to go down. How it's going to go when Sticky Nose will survive. And it doesn't matter if you can do it.
Take a second part of the apple rose.
Go ahead.
We had a case of this cookies. There was actually one of my nieces was going to be better, but someday I had eaten them all. But in light of Rose's comments about Eileen reading, just very briefly, we had a Barnes & Noble bookstore which was walking distance of our home. They could actually come back after a period away. And there was a school night at the Barnes & Noble bookstore in the children's department. And they asked, we got a certain percentage of the proceeds of all the children's books that were bought by our students and their families. And then we went and read several books. And the next day we got a call from the manager of the store who said that, number one, every book that Eileen read sold out. And number two, asking Eileen if she would like to have a job. And he explained no action. I'm otherwise employed.
Okay, so now we're going to open it up for hopefully some of our guests who are joining through Zoom. And I'm going to just say one thing. I think what's so apparent is how loved your grandmother was. Olivia, and President Morley, I knew it was going to be hard for me to say, but I knew Julianne would want me to say it. She loved all of us. She loved her husband. She loved her girls. She loved her dads. She did not love anyone the way she loved the three of you. When we came together as a staff, something we talked about is how not a week went by that we didn't hear about the three of you. I think we feel like we know your lives as well as we know the lives of our own children. And that is such a gift. So I just wanted to say, from your Nana, oh my goodness, you were the three that would matter to her. So now we're going to see if we can have some Zoom guests join us in just one moment. Let's see if this technology will work.
My name's Paul. I'm Sharon's oldest son and older brother, Chase. Mom had mentioned that Aunt Eileen had a profound impact on my life, and I just wanted to share 3 examples of that. First, I attended Sunset Hills from ages 2 to 9, and I absolutely credit the success that I've been able to achieve today with my Montessori education. Second, it was at 2 years of age that I met a young boy named Lucas Sparta, who was also 2, who remains my best friend and surrogate brother to this day, 29 years later. And third, she introduced me to Harry Potter. So, thanks everybody. And I so wish I could be there with you guys today.
So we are going to close this service as Eileen would have wanted, with the children singing. This piece, Male Children, was written by Ken Gilmartin, who found these together, and he did copyright it. And I love this story that he wrote it as a celebration of UNICEF's 40th anniversary, and he did not copyright it because he wanted it to be available for the children of the world, and it was originally called Solstice Song. And it was really just like a simple, heartfelt message to children that they might live in peace. So, Eileen always ended all school functions with a male. And she would say there was nothing more beautiful than the children's voices that lived in this song. So it's fitting that we did a celebration with the Eileen students.
children.